Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back. What's up, Frank, in the chat? How is everybody doing? Making sure everything's set up here. What a long day. What a long day. Still got to go live. Just a small little life update. I'm taking 7 senior level classes in college right now. And I just sat in a 3-hour long English literature from like the 1700s class, and I'm a finance major. So it was interesting. It really wasn't. And if my mood's a little bit slightly more boring tonight, I hope you understand why. But it was a pretty decent pullback in the market today. We're going to break down really what happened there. DraftKings had a good day. Fisker, I see that at all-time lows. Tesla's selling off. We'll find everything that we need to find for tonight. So I'm excited to do that. And maybe look for some new swings here with this market pullback. DraftKings really might be the next one. We looked at MU last night as well. We're going to take another look at that. What's up, who's here in the Kick Chat? So let's get started with the crypto. I mean, Bitcoin's still looking flat, but one thing I do want to note here is that triple hidden bullish divergence is now formed on the MACD and RSI. And it's holding the key levels. I think as long as Bitcoin remains above 40K, there's room for more upside. So yes, we got this sell-off from 50 back down to pretty much 40, and that was related likely to ETF news. And the technicals are reset, the news is digested. This could be good. I'm not ready to say that the top is in for Bitcoin yet. I mean, for right now, it just looks like a simple pullback to me. There is a swing trade alerted on Solana, which is up like 1%. But not only did it break out yesterday, it's now currently testing the breakout, and you also have hidden bullish divergence. And it's being blocked by whatever this is. I don't know what these are. Building permits? Why does... Okay, I think this... Okay, this is like economic data for the US. Got it. I was like, why does Solana need building permits? What's going on with this crypto? But if you can kind of see under this little thing, this flag, I don't want to say little thing, under that flag, there is a volume bar, and it's very low, which means on the pullback, there's pretty low volume. To be fair, we're only 3 hours into the day, so it's not that significant, but hopefully that can stay low for the next 21 hours. Then next up, Ethereum, not technically a bearish engulfing candle, still above the breakout of this ascending triangle, still looking okay. Not much of any change for silver, but gold is testing a breakdown of this triangle it's been in since the middle of November. Keep that in mind. Hopefully it doesn't do too much, because if it does, it could really affect. Okay, it already did. The gold swing, oh my gosh. I did not see this today. The gold swing fell 10% today. That's got to be what happened here. This is the highest volume I've seen on this stock since March of last year, and probably the worst day. I don't know the last time you can even see a candle this bad. Maybe since 2022. Something must have happened here. We'll get back to that, but that's pretty much it for metals. Quick, interesting update on the Hang Seng Index. And if we really zoom out here, very historical test right now. I saw Mitch Ray tweet about the Hang Seng Index last night, and I remembered we were talking about on the stream. Here we go. Okay, this trend line you see on this chart is older than me. This line on the chart that the Chinese stock market has held for 26 years is now being tested again. In 1998, I was about to say 2098, we're not quite there yet. In 1998, 2002, 2008, so pretty much that's the dot-com bubble, this major correction over here. Then over here is the Great Recession in 2008, and then recently in 2022, not quite literally during the COVID crash, but a couple of years after it, and now once again. So pretty much at least 3 or 4 times we've gotten down to this level. There was a major like economic reason for that to take place, and there might be right now. I've just not really kept up with China as a country, and we're now retesting that trend line for the 5th time in 26 years. So keep an eye on this huge make or break area for, I believe, the largest economy in the world. Nothing crazy, just the most important technical on the largest economy in the world. Nothing too crazy. All right. So let's move into US stocks now. Hopefully it's not going to look that scary. And we did see a pullback today. Let's go look at the intraday price action. We gapped down today. All right, we gapped down today, and then we started to really develop this bear flag. And I did mention this earlier in the day. Let's see. Right over here, SPY 5-minute chart. I mentioned this bear flag pretty much around 11 a.m. And it seems like that bear flag played out pretty decently. Got about or over a 0.5% pullback in the market. And then we started reversing right off of 470. It might have just been a psychological reversal. But you did get this nice bullish engulfing candle right here. You were selling off, then you got a nice bullish engulfing around 150. And then we started seeing that upside right off of that. And we were actually able to hold this zone. I have this zone drawn out. And if you're in premium, you've been seeing like these white zones I have. Like you can see it right now. You don't have to be in premium. I've been showing these on the streams. Look how beautifully the market has been reacting to these white zones I have. You can go check them out for yourself. Screenshot this if you want and draw them out. But this white zone, we kind of were under. It wasn't respecting it today, even though we held it. We actually initially, I'm getting way too ahead of myself right now. But we gapped down to actually bounce off of it. But then we kind of were testing it weirdly. But this really dates back to some lows and highs from the past that are significant. So saved by the bell, pretty much. What's up, Infinite, in the chat? And Ace the Kid, who's also been crushing it on the YouTube streams recently. What's up? Nice to have you in here. And let's go over to higher time frames on the SPY now. Just pretty much had this megaphone pattern. It's just weird because if we look at the Qs on the 1 hour, it looks like an inverse head and shoulders. I mean, if you really want to draw it, you could kind of like, I'm going to delete everything for 1 second. Pretty much draw it out on the SPY too. Okay. So it's like, is it an inverse head and shoulders or is it a megaphone pattern? Don't know, don't really care. All right. I've decided to simplify things because last night I came on the live stream and I gave you all a very 50-50 opinion, but I gave you my reasonings for it. And today I'm going to be straightforward. Stop worrying if it's a megaphone or an inverse head and shoulders like I've been for the last 2 days. I've realized that's quite pointless. And I'm just going to use the SPX chart because I have that much more clear than my SPY chart. And simply look at what's happening in the market right now as a range. Mind blown, right? Mind blown. And we're simply in a range between, on the SPX, 4680 to 4800. And if we go over to the daily time frame, just above 4800 at 4820 is your all-time highs. So we've developed a range. The key thing to note here is you want to keep in mind Wyckoff patterns. All right, if you're not familiar with those, look them up. And the potential of this being a Wyckoff distribution schematic. You want me to do a very, very quick look into that? We can do so. What's up, Meg in the chat? Appreciate the support. Let's see, Wyckoff distribution. Let's see if we're starting to see some of the signs of Wyckoff distribution. We might be. I just briefly looked at it here. I'm going to show you all what I'm looking at. Okay. We might be seeing Wyckoff distribution, which is in a very simple manner put as there's an uptrend in the market, then you get a rectangle, and then there's a downtrend. So uptrend, consolidation, downtrend. Then when you have your downtrend, you consolidate, you get accumulation, uptrend, all right? I could probably draw this rather than using my hands to show it, but I hope you get the point. You get an uptrend, you get a range. That range is known as distribution, which is bearish. Then you get a downtrend, and you also get a range. That range is known as accumulation, which is bullish. Now, you're not always going to see distribution after an uptrend or accumulation after a downtrend, even if you're consolidating. You need there to be the correct variables within that range, and that's what we are about to look at right now. Okay, so let's see if I can line this up a little bit better than how I'm doing so right now. Good. Always have to play around with this a little. So I want that to be right there. Okay, let's make it smaller. Usually a little bit quicker at doing this, but it's a little. All right, there we go. So you can see we come up into this range, and I know it's a little bit tough to see it, but we make this first high, we sell off, we find our first support. Then we get the second high, which is slightly higher. As you can see, we sell off, we kind of retest that support. This bar is a little bit off. and then we go and make that third high, which is kind of like that final up thrust, and then the selling begins. And really what would be the confirmation of this, and I'm going to just make it a lot simpler now, would be a continued drop down here, not just a breakdown, but the retest. Okay, so I was just showing that for some education, but I really don't care about that until we get to this point, until we break under these lows from the last month and then flip them into a resistance. Once that happens, I'm very likely going to be getting into 1 to 2 week outputs on the market. That's not happened, it might not even happen, but once that does happen, I will let you know if it does. So that's really how I'm viewing the market on lower time frames right now. The larger picture is still just retesting all-time highs. On higher time frames, we want to take a look at small caps. The Russell 2000, let's get back to this wedge in 1 second here. Let me take it off my daily time frame. The Russell 2000 on the daily, just like I've been saying, since it started rejecting the top of this range, you see the bottom of the range here, the top of the range here. I said once we start rejecting it, probably going to go back down and retest this trend line from all-time highs to our high in July. And what did we right now do? As of today, we went down, we tested the trend line, kind of, not perfectly, but close enough, and bounced off of it. Now on lower time frames, we're getting a nice falling wedge on the hourly, and look at how we bounced off of that 187 level. That was our resistance back from the beginning of December. So while I'm still kind of waiting to see how this range turns out on the S&P 500, remember, small caps sold off first, right? December 28th is when they started really selling off. The SPY's really just been going sideways. While the SPY was going sideways, the Russell was doing this. All right, and now the Russell is looking pretty neat as long as we can keep holding in that low from today. Even if we went a little bit lower, it could be okay. But like, that's beautiful. So what? My inference, is that the word I used in middle school when you infer something? Educated guess. The inference here is small caps might be rotated to next. Rotate to is probably not the best way to put it. Again, I just sat in a 3-hour English literature class, but I'm trying to like use different vocabulary and all of that compared to my normal streams. Oh gosh. And yeah, small caps technically look better than the Qs and the SPY right now, in my opinion. That's the gist of what I was trying to say. Wow, I just used the word gist. I need to go to English class more often. Finally, the ARK ETF. Yeah, you sold off more today. Really interesting, very small bodied candle yesterday and today. You did get a hammer candle, but you're really in the middle. Actually, you're not in the middle of nowhere. I still think the 200-day moving average could be possible, but you are not in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to take that back. Bounce off of this level today. I didn't even have charted. So we are seeing that level tested. Let's see what happens after that. Let's move into some featured names on my watch list. If you didn't already, make sure to subscribe to the stream and hit the like button. Who's here says, who's here in the Kick chat? If you're in Kick, don't subscribe because you can't. Hit the follow button. Actually, I think you can subscribe, but you don't have to. You don't have to pay me. Keep the $5. But hit the follow button. And who's here says you get an A for hand gestures. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I could have just drawn out that whole entire Wyckoff thing on the chart, but whatever. DraftKings, I might alert this as a swing tomorrow. Okay, one of my favorite looking charts. We were talking about this last week on the stream. I was just waiting for more confirmation, and honestly, I might have been a little bit late. The day to alert this as a swing should have been yesterday. I just did not look at DraftKings yesterday, and it printed a very nice looking bullish engulfing candle. And if we go on lower time frames, it made a higher low double bottom. I mean, wow, that's pretty much as good as it's getting for DraftKings. Super Bowl's coming up very soon, and there's always been sports betting, I'm sure, for centuries now, but the fact that pretty much all of us have this device over here, and wherever we are, we can bet on almost any sport, it's taking gambling to a whole new level, and we are really seeing it explode. Like, sports gambling is really going viral, and if you want proof of that, go to walk.com and look how much people are selling in sports betting groups. They're called cappers. I'm sure a lot of you are in some of those. At this point, I would argue that they're larger than like trading discords, the sports betting discords. They are going crazy. They are making so much money. I know a couple of things behind the scenes that I don't really want to say on the stream, but Sports betting is going crazy. And there's also FanDuel. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that. If I'm not mistaken, they're owned by like Flutter, which is in England. It trades as an OTC here. I did see like some rumors, and do not quote me on this, about a potential listing in the US as well as an ADR, I would assume. An ADR is basically like how international stocks trade as stocks in our exchanges such as the NYSE or the NASDAQ. And what was I going to say? I think there was some sort of filing where they mentioned it. Again, please look into that. Do not quote me on that. I could be completely wrong. And FanDuel is crushing it as well. This is an OTC for right now. But if we look at this, technically FanDuel's chart, you got this wedge, hidden bullish divergence. You rejected the 200-day moving average, but now you're making like a smaller wedge here. So I'm keeping an eye on this one. And then if we just go back to DraftKings chart, I want to talk a little bit more on that. We have flipped these highs from last fall into a support. We have a new bull flag. We have hidden bullish divergence on the MACD confirmed as of today. And we also have it on the upper side. So DraftKings looking very interesting. If we go over to a weekly time frame, I mean, it's on its way back up. Really is. I don't see any big resistance until about 42 on a weekly time frame for DraftKings. So this is going to be a key focus. Depending on the price action tomorrow, I might alert this as a swing on both X and in the Discord. And then another name we were looking at last night on the stream was MU, which it broke out of the triangle as of the close yesterday, and I guess the market was red today, but it's technically back in the triangle. So waiting for some more confirmation. If we can get confirmation of a triangle breakout here, I might alert a swing on that as well. And that's pretty much it for those two feature names that might be swings. Let's see. Let's look at some large caps. Apple retested the 200-day moving average again today. I know Ace the Kid's in the stream. I mean, he talks about this all the time. The more times you test certain levels, the higher the likelihood of breaking them. Because if you were to have truly reversed off of a level in a strong way, you should have just not even retested it. But the bears were able to get Apple back down to retest it just a week later. You couldn't even stay away from it for over a week. So don't get me wrong, you could definitely bounce in reverse here. But if we do this a third, fourth, fifth time, I mean, the chances of breaking that 200-day moving average become a little bit more likely, especially if the Qs and the SPYs sell off and cannot break and hold new all-time highs. And if we're going to zoom out here, apart from this area right here, right over there, the 200-day moving average on Apple is one of the best indicators, and I've talked about this many times on streams. It is one of the best indicators on any chart. I mean, look at how many times historically just have continued to hold that 200-day moving average. So that's not just key for Apple, that's really key for the market. So very important zone here for Apple. Netflix is a little bit interesting here, and you are back testing the breakout of a triangle on Netflix. So I'm keeping an eye on this. Haven't looked at Coinbase in a while after this bear flag. This one played out beautifully. That was a very nice bear flag. Kind of in the middle of nowhere. I don't see any there. No, it's not. I don't see any. There are no historical levels here, at least in terms of price action. There might be a fib there or something. Take a look at that just for fun. Oh yeah, look, there you go. It's when you don't have a literal support resistance level, you do have a fib. And if we go from literally all-time lows to the high we just put in, Coinbase is reacting right off the 0.382 Fibonacci retrace. And you do have some hidden bullish divergence. I think it just needs to develop a little bit more of a pattern. Continuing on, Microsoft. Not a big fan of that daily candle yesterday. Kind of like the look of a hanging man candle after it. So I would say short term I'm flipping to bearish on Microsoft unless it can break yesterday's high. Amazon, a little bit of indecision. I mean, there was a range, now it's kind of creating like a new range just above that range. A lot of doji candles. Not much you can read technically on Amazon right now. Google still testing this key level at 144, which was a top before a major sell-off in April of 2022. Qualcomm, not much there. Nvidia, showing a little bit of resistance here. I think we did the Fibonacci on this as well. And yeah, it's showing some resistance at the 1618 Fibonacci. So that is Nvidia. AMD was able to have a green day today. It closed at new highs of the rally. The next level is literally a retest of all-time highs. And then finally Tesla. I mean, look, you held yesterday's low. If we really zoom in here, it's so cute. It's like a baby hammer candle, but there technically was a hammer candle on Tesla, and you still have the potential for an inverse head and shoulders. So that's pretty much what's going on with some of the names on my watch list. Ace the Kid in chat says, yeah, interested to see if we hold your moving average there and make a higher low / double bottom. I would bet we hold. Let's go back over to Apple. I would bet we hold only because Apple is such a sought after company for long-term portfolios. So with that, I definitely think people have been hungry for this dip, but we'll see. So you're buying up the Tesla dip. Okay. Move back over. I mean, look, this is the key zone. This is the key zone on Tesla. Look at this low, look at this high, and then obviously look at all these recent lows. This is the key level on Tesla. If there's any area where I would love to see Tesla reverse, it is right here. And then if it does, you have the potential for this inverse head and shoulders on the daily, of course, but even more so on the weekly. So that inverse head and shoulders you just saw on the daily is literally that. It's what I just highlighted right here. So the inverse head and shoulders on the daily is just the right shoulder of the inverse head and shoulders on the weekly. It's inverse head and shoulders inception right there on Tesla. And yeah, that's pretty much what we are seeing. Moving over to the Kick chat. Uzier says, I read that the coin SEC decision will be made tomorrow. Will affect ARKK2. Yeah, I believe it's one of their largest holdings. Take a look into that. Top 10 holdings. Okay, it is their largest holding. Coinbase is 9% weight of the ARKK ETF. Wow. Appreciate the shout out on X Jordan. What else happened today? Spirit Save dropped another 22%. Closed under COVID crash lows and I believe at all-time lows. There's not much you can do with technicals on this right now. Quite the sell-off there. Plug fell 10% today, kind of getting destroyed here. This is a key level though, 250-ish. Historically, it's a very key level. Wow. The stock has a lot of history. Oh my gosh, 258 on Plug. Look at these highs over here, these lows, these highs. Very, very key level here on Plug. You got a little bit of reaction at the low of day there. NEO, rough breakdown. It held 7 for almost a year, and then it broke it yesterday. A little bit lower today, down 4%. Boards testing a very key level. Look at all of these lows here at 11 bucks. Rivian, another 6% lower. Did get a hammer candle, or a pin bar candle. Boosted another 3% lower, got a doji. I mean, these EVs are just getting absolutely smoked right now. Oh my gosh. Speaking of Fisker, new all-time lows again. Same thing here, pretty much a bullish pin bar on the daily. You're finally getting some technicals. You have a bullish pin bar on the daily. On the 4-hour, you have classic bullish divergence on the MACD and RSI. On the 1 hour, you close with a bullish engulfing candle starting to form a wedge. There's some stuff going on over here on Fisker. Another thing I wanted to mention, I haven't talked too much about this on the streams, and I learned this from someone else at the New York Stock Exchange during my internship. And there's something called the TD sequential DeMark indicators, which pretty much track patterns of like 9 green candles in a row or red candles, or 9 or 13 green or red consecutive candles kind of in the same trend in a row. There's more to the formula than just that, but that's like the simple version. And once you get either a 9 or a 13 signal, it could be a reversal signal. And we got the 9 today on Fisker. And if you want to see like some proof of this actually working, it didn't work well here on SPY. From what I've seen, it doesn't work well when you're already in such a crazy like trend where you're going straight up or straight down, which might be kind of defeating the purpose of what I just talked about in Fisker because it's been going straight down. But like if we look at over pretty much, what was it? It was a really good section on the SPY where it played like every single top and bottom. I'm trying to find exactly where that was. I think it was right here. Like, look, the 9 was this low, then you got a 9 over here, which was a low, then you got a 9 over here, which was low, then you got a 13 low. This did not play out. This kind of played out. This played out for a small bounce. Like, you can see, it's not 100% by any means, but it works here and there. Fisker did get that today, so I wanted to mention that. But in terms of like my actual analysis on Fisker, go check out my video, which is almost at 1,000 views. I dropped it last Friday. Make sure you go check that out. It's the last video on my channel. That's pretty much it for today. Futures relatively flat, crypto relatively flat. You didn't see my announcement just before I went live. Boom. I did. So I started Lifetime. I did Lifetime premium memberships last year. And my goal for last year was, and it was a very optimistic goal, was to sell 30 Lifetime memberships. That was my main goal for last year in general. Sell 30 Lifetimes. Can I get members who have, and I'm going to tell you another stat, which is very interesting. Can I get members to join Lifetime? And we'll see if 30 people can do it. 30 people did it. Like, we hit it, I think, right at the beginning of December. And I was like, okay, I hit my goal. I'm taking it down. And I kept getting messages, not from really random people because they don't know what premium is like, from a bunch of my premium members saying, hey, I'm waiting for the new Lifetime. And I promised I'm not going to ever give those prices again. So I raised the prices. It's now 1,000 normal price for Lifetime. And for the rest of the year, it's going to be 1,000 normal price for Lifetime. However, with the request, I am releasing 5 spots that are 35% off. And that comes with unlimited access to my algo. So you're going to forever be able to use my algo as long as it exists. And that code for 35% off is going to get weaker every day. Tomorrow it's going to be 30% off. The day after it's going to be 25% off. The day after that, you get the drift. So today's the only day you can get 2024 Lifetime for 35% off. Okay, there's only 5 spots. Right before I went live, one of the spots was already taken. Shout out to 1010 in the Discord. Big shout out to you for taking the first one. I haven't checked if anybody else took some spots, but there's now only 4 spots left for 35% off, and tomorrow's only going to be probably 3 for 30%. So like right now is like your best chance. That's the easiest way for me to put it without sounding too harsh. And not only are you going to get access to the algo for Lifetime members and only Lifetime members, you're going to be getting beta access to my algo, and you haven't been seeing the results. They've been pretty crazy, I'm not going to lie. I don't know how well you can see this right over here on the stream, but this is, let's see, this is the 15-minute time frame with my algo. And again, this is like V1, okay? There's going to be 25 versions of this algo. This is the first ever version. I spent 4 months learning how to code it. And then I actually, in 2 days, got it to this point where I'm not even joking. I'm not even trying to, and I'm going to show it to you live on stream right now. I'm not even joking. It's literally tracked the S&P for the past month perfectly. I don't know how I did it. I really don't know. But all I'm going to basically do is just fine tune that for the next 6 months of my life. This is already so good in 2 days, and I'm going to release it. And a month before I release it to everybody, I'm going to give it to the 5 people who sign up over here, or just the Lifetime members in general, so you can test it out and tell me what you want. And no, it's not just going to look like green and red arrows. There's going to be so much more to this. There's going to be a whole risk management system. I have so many different things. This is just a very, very raw version of it. But just so you can see how accurate it's currently being, that's a 15-minute time frame. Okay, this is the 4-hour time frame over the past month on the S&P 500. Look at how it was literally buy over here. Then when it was bearish, it literally was able to track the sells, and then right towards the end, buys again. And yesterday, I actually put out another tweet or post on X, running it again. All right, I posted it last week. Let's see if it holds up this week. And then this was yesterday, but the last 24 hours on the SPX. Again, I don't know how well you can see it on the stream, but if you can kind of see it, buy signal right here, sell signals all the way up over here, buy signals over here. This was, I will say, this was the one that did not, I'll be honest, this one was not a good one. I mean, technically you still could have profited. Actually, I'm going to take that back. If you would have bought right there and sold out the sell signal, it would have been a scalp, but it still would have worked. This is a 5-minute time frame, by the way. Buys all the way down here, sell up here, absolutely beautiful. And I believe I did another post. I don't know where that went. Let's see. I'm just really excited about this. This is why I'm talking about it so much. This is a 15-minute time frame on the S&P 500 in the last week. Okay, in the last week, this is a 15-minute. Look at the buy down there. This was just kind of like back and forth, but look at the sell at the top, buy at the bottom, sell at the top, buys over here, sell. This one was not great. This was like the one out of all of them that wasn't great. Buy, sell. Absolutely insane. Just for you on the stream, I'm gonna show all of you a live look at it. So give me 1 second to load it up really quickly. I will be right back. And this is what we're going to be calling full transparency. I just loaded it up. This is the first time I'm ever showing this on video. Again, I'm not here to go and highlight like when this, like I see a lot of people with algos and I know they just literally share screenshots of when it works and never when it doesn't. And the reason I know it is because I've signed up for other people's algos and I've seen how they've performed. I want to build this with all of you. I want you guys to understand that. I want all of you to be a part of this. And this is a very early version. It's just going to get better for the next 6 months. But I just loaded up the SPY on the 15-minute time frame, and we can just run through it. I mean, when is this? So this is Friday, January 5th. We can go a little bit more in the current time. Even over here, you can see. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's not just the large green and red sell signals. There's actually much smaller ones, and that's really useful for like scaling. Okay, you can see like the smaller arrows as well. Like for example, the large arrows are like stronger signals. We got like a stronger signal over here, but then if we really zoom in, there were some like look at this in this candle. There were scaling out signals, right? Take some profits, take some profits. Okay, so you can see that this is a 15-minute time frame on the SPY. And let's see how this actually did today. Why not? Today was a very choppy day. We pretty much went sideways apart from one bear flag on the 15-minute time frame. When we gapped down this morning, the algo immediately was showing buy signals. Literally the whole entire, so there was a bigger buy signal literally right at the low over here. And then it was saying like pretty much add to the position, add. And then right when we got to this candle, a little bit late. So again, I'm going to spend the next 6 months fine tuning it. So instead of it showing a sell signal on this candle, it'll move it up to this one. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to spend 6 months literally making that adjustment. And then this was not a great signal at 12:45, but then look, it caught this, sell right there, and then it caught the end of the day rally too. Let's go to the 5 minute and see how it done on the 5 minute. Same type of thing here. All right, buys over here. It was just literally throwing sell signals at the top of this bear flag, absolutely throwing out sell signals. Then it started showing some buy signals around this dip, sell on that candle. Also on the 5 minute, caught the end of the day rally. Even caught this 1/5 rally. I'm not even joking. I coded this in 2 days. Now I coded it in 2 days after learning what I pretty much after like studying how to do what I wanted in my head into code for 4 months. And I did use some ChatGPT to like help push everything into one place, and actually worked out surprisingly well. And again, this is not just for the S&P on the 5 and the 15. Right now, I'm only showing you the 5 and the 15 because right now I've only built it for the 5 and the 15. What I'm going to eventually try to do is make it so I don't want to use the same technicals on the 5 and the 15 minute. Like I'm using the 9 EMA and the VWAP for a lot of these signals. I'm not going to use that on a 4 hour and a daily time frame. So the bot's going to know when you switch over to a 4 hour and a daily, instead of using that, use a larger moving average. Use maybe more of the MACD and RSI and less of like the short term technicals. So you can use it on any time frame. You will be able to. Right now, I only have it pretty much made for the 5 and 15 for day trading. And you can use it on any ticker. It's not just for SPY. We can load a Bitcoin on the 5 minute right now. We're watching Bitcoin live, okay? See how it's doing. Oh look, literally bottom. This is Bitcoin right now. The price is literally moving. Look at how it caught this low over here. It's buy. Then it started showing the sells up here. Now this is not financial advice. This is a very early prototype version. Please do not go and buy Bitcoin right now because it just put out that signal. But you're seeing like this is a 5-minute score. There's a lot of signals here. I need to fix that. It's giving way too many signals on Bitcoin 5-minute. Go to the 15-minute. Zoom out. And literally this whole entire range. Look, buy, sell there, buy over here, sell up here, sell, buy down here. Like it's literally being profitable on Bitcoin on the 15-minute. So that was just a very quick kind of version of me talking about what I've been working on behind the scenes. And again, for whoever signs up for these spots, 35% off today only. You're going to get lifetime access to this, and you're going to get beta access before it's even out. So this will be available to all of you to buy. It's not going to be super expensive. But if you want to just pretty much get this and everything that's already in premium with the swings and the options and the watch list, you can get 2 in 1. All right. You get premium forever, and you get this algo I'm showing you right now forever. So at 35% off. I don't know what else I can say. Really excited for this. Any suggestions any of you have, please let me know. I've already been in contact with a few of you, and really you've been very helpful, so I really appreciate it. But yeah, any suggestions you have, please bring it to my attention. Yeah. Let's look at the Russell now. 5-minute. Look at this buy right at the bottom. Sell up there, buy over here, sell it higher. That was kind of back and forth. Same thing here, but also same thing. Caught the end of the day rally. Look at that. Caught the end of the day rally beautifully. And this is like sideways price action. That could have been better. Again, this is 2 days. Like, bunch of sells towards the end there. Like it was literally this whole entire area. You really can't see it that well because it's like the smaller signals, but like 3 of them right over here, and then another big one here, and then take profits up over here. So a lot of work to do. I'm really excited for this. Any suggestions you have, let me know. It's not really made to work on the 1 hour time frame just yet, by the way. I want to make that clear. But just for fun, I'll do that. Just for fun, let's see how this thing did on the 1 hour time frame in the past few months. Again, I've not even made this for the 1 hour. It's just kind of guessing what to do, I assume. Buy over here, sell here, buy. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. I'm literally amazed at my own work. I'm sorry. Look at the buy right there. And then literally it didn't give any sell signal until the first pullback you saw. Then at the bottom of the pullback, it gave a buy signal. And then it could have given a sell signal here, but no, it said still bullish. It kept it the whole day. Kept it the whole day. Oh my gosh. All right, that's enough of fun for all of you. I hope you can see what I'm seeing, because this is very simple to understand what you're looking at. And this is going to change everything. This is literally what I'm putting everything into. You guys have seen the live streams. You've seen me on Twitter, the swing trades, the day trades, the options. This is the next step in my journey, and you're seeing literally the earliest stage of it. It's going to be 1,000 times crazier than this. So have a great night. If you want to get beta access to this and have this forever when it's at its final version, then I'm going to drop the link right now in the chat. If you want to get 35% off lifetime for not only just the algo, but everything in premium, okay? Everything in premium, all of it. I'm not going to click on this because then I'm going to be showing all the swings, but we even have the mods chat with Zeke, AK, Rushing It, Papa Strata. The watch list. Another bot right here from TradyTix. Shout out to TradyTix. It's a paid bot, but it's included. All right, have a great night. I did pretty much enough of what I was gonna say. I'm gonna copy the link over here, drop it in the chat. There's at least 3 spots left out of those 5, 35% off today only. And tomorrow the price is going to go higher. So if you want it at a lower price and you're debating it, I mean, you're saving yourself money by getting it tonight than tomorrow. But still going to be 30% off tomorrow, just not 35%. Have a great night. Thanks for watching the streams, and I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, by the way, I just dropped the link in the chat, in the YouTube chat, or you can just get it in the Discord announcements channel or on my Twitter. See ya.